I systematically stopped watering my container garden. I threw away my color-coded watering schedule, entirely ignored the calendar, and let my prize-winning heirloom tomatoes endure a terrifying, nerve-wracking level of drought. I literally stood there, coffee in hand, and watched the soil shrink away from the sides of the terracotta pots. It sounds like absolute gardening heresy. It sounds like a guaranteed recipe for a barren wasteland of crispy stems and shattered dreams. But this exact moment of perceived neglect, this deliberate withholding of care, is precisely what saved my dying plants, doubled my harvest, and entirely transformed the way I understand life within the confined walls of a pot. You see, the biggest lie we are constantly sold at the shiny garden center isn't about buying the right brand of chemical fertilizer or finding the perfect angle of sunlight. It is the incredibly dangerous, pervasive idea that watering is a mundane household chore to be scheduled. 4 years ago, my urban balcony sanctuary was a graveyard of good intentions. Imagine a mid-July afternoon on a sweltering concrete patio. The air was thick, heavy, and stagnant. The relentless sun beat down on my expensive collection of ceramic and plastic containers. Every single evening, right at 6 o'clock, I was out there, spending 20 minutes dutifully pouring municipal water into every single pot, adhering strictly to a rigid routine. I thought I was being a responsible steward of nature. I thought I was doing everything perfectly right. And yet, the results were an unmitigated disaster. If you leaned in close to my prized Meyer lemon tree, you wouldn't smell the bright, zesty fragrance of citrus. Instead, you'd catch the unmistakable, sickly sweet stench of swamp gas, the grim, putrid smell of anaerobic decay. The leaves were a sickly, jaundiced yellow, drooping lifelessly against the stems. But if you reached out and touched them, the tips were burnt, brown, and crumbling. You could hear the sad crunch of dry leaf tissue rubbing between your fingers. It was a maddening, infuriating contradiction. How could a plant be drowning in a swamp and dehydrating into dust at the exact same time? Whenever I accidentally bumped a pot or disturbed the soil with the metallic clink of my hand trowel, a chaotic, swirling cloud of tiny black fungus gnats would erupt into the air. It was a sure sign of rotting organic matter. I was frantically spending money on expensive liquid feeds, desperately pouring blue chemical water into the dirt, trying to fix a problem I couldn't even name. The frustration was a physical weight. But then my eyes wandered to a forgotten, neglected corner of the patio. There, growing out of a cracked, abandoned, sun-faded plastic bucket that I had actively ignored for 3 entire weeks, was a volunteer cherry tomato plant. A stray seed must have blown in on the wind. It was completely untended, yet it was a vibrant, deep emerald green. It was entirely pest-free, thick-stemmed, and absolutely bursting with heavy clusters of ripening fruit. How? What did this accidental rebel know that my pampered, meticulously watered, and expensively fed plants did not? That single thriving weed in a broken bucket held a foundational secret that would completely shatter everything I thought I knew about container gardening. It forced me to confront a harsh reality. We have been looking at potting soil entirely the wrong way. For decades, the conventional gardening industry has peddled a catastrophic myth. You have likely heard it repeated 1,000 times. Water your plants when the top inch of soil feels dry. Or worse, water every Tuesday and Saturday. We treat watering like clocking into a factory shift. We pour water on top, watch a tiny trickle drain out the bottom hole, wipe our hands, and assume we've successfully done our job. But here is the shocking physics of a container that commercial potting soil companies conveniently fail to mention. When you water on a schedule, you are actively suffocating your plants. You are systematically murdering the vital microscopic workforce living beneath the surface. Let's look at the absolute physics of a container. Unlike the vast, infinitely draining, capillary-connected earth of a traditional garden bed, a pot has a distinct, impenetrable bottom. This physical barrier creates what soil scientists refer to as a perched water table. Imagine taking a thick kitchen sponge. Soak it entirely under the faucet until it is dripping wet. Now, hold it perfectly flat in the palm of your hand. No matter how long you stand there holding it, the bottom inch of that sponge will remain completely saturated. It refuses to let go of the water. The capillary action of the sponge's material is stronger than the force of gravity pulling the water down. That is exactly what happens in the bottom of your pots. When you poke the top inch of soil with your finger and feel a dusty dryness, you are being profoundly deceived. The top layer is a desert, yes, but the bottom 3 inches of the pot, where the most crucial, delicate, moisture-seeking feeder roots live, is a stagnant, oxygen-deprived swamp. Conventional wisdom tells you to water again because the top is dry. So, what do? You pour another quart of water into the pot, perpetually topping up that invisible swamp, effectively drowning the lower roots in a toxic, airless environment. We have been treating containers like vegetable warehouses waiting for liquid inventory to be restocked. But a garden is not a warehouse. It is a deeply complex, living organism. To truly master the art of watering, we have to adopt a radical philosophical shift. We must stop viewing a container as a static bucket of dirt and start seeing it as a living, breathing lung. Think of the soil in your pot like a human lung taking a deep, rhythmic breath. When soil gradually dries out, it exhales moisture into the atmosphere. But crucially, as the water leaves, it pulls fresh, life-giving oxygen deep down into the root zone to fill the empty microscopic spaces. When you flood the pot with water again, it pushes the old, stale air out. It is this continuous, unhurried cycle of inhaling oxygen and exhaling water that drives explosive, unstoppable plant growth. Roots do not just passively drink water. They actively require massive amounts of oxygen to convert soil nutrients into cellular energy. If you never let the soil dry out, the lung is constantly filled with fluid. You are giving your plants botanical pneumonia. This is exactly why my pampered lemon tree was dying, and why the neglected tomato in the cracked bucket was thriving. The massive cracks in the side of the plastic bucket, combined with my total neglect, allowed the soil lung to fully exhale. It drew massive amounts of atmospheric oxygen down to the roots. If we think of a container garden like a business, the soil structure is your primary asset. The water you add is the cash flow that keeps the daily operations moving. But oxygen? Oxygen is the actual currency of life. Without it, the entire economy collapses. The dark earth inside your pot is an entire subterranean metropolis, a bustling, invisible economy of billions of beneficial microbes, mycorrhizal fungi, and aerobic bacteria. In this microscopic economy, when oxygen is depleted, the good microbes literally suffocate and die. Instantly, the anaerobic bacteria, the exact ones that smell like a city sewer and attract swarms of fungus gnats, take over the neighborhood. When you water on a schedule, you are not watering a plant. You are micromanaging a dynamic, fragile ecosystem into absolute ruin. So how do we practically apply this revelation? How do we transition from anxious, hovering helicopter plant parents to confident, hands-off conductors of a thriving micro-ecosystem? The solution is terrifyingly simple, absolutely free, and it is going to save you hours of unnecessary labor every single week. First, take your watering schedule, tear it into pieces, and throw it in the compost bin. Calendars are for dental appointments and tax deadlines, not for living, breathing organisms. You are going to replace your calendar with 3 definitive, highly tactile sensory tests. Step 1 is the lift test. This is the ultimate, undeniable truth teller of container gardening. Right after you water a pot thoroughly until water freely runs out the bottom, bend down and lift it up with both hands. Feel that heavy, dense gravitational pull in your lower back. Memorize that profound weight. That is the physical weight of total saturation. Now walk away. Wait 3, 4, maybe even 5 days and lift it again. You will be absolutely shocked by how incredibly light the pot feels when it is truly biologically ready for water. A dry pot feels almost dangerously hollow, like lifting a styrofoam movie prop. Do not let a single drop of water touch that soil until the pot feels shockingly light. Second, if you are growing in massive half whiskey barrels or ceramic pots that are simply too heavy to lift, you must deploy the deep knuckle dive. We already established that the top inch of soil is a chronic liar. Ignore it entirely. Instead, plunge your index finger into the soil all the way down to your second knuckle. Push past the dry surface. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, take a long, unvarnished wooden chopstick and drive it deep into the center of the root ball. Leave it there for 60 seconds, then pull it out. If the tip of the wood is dark, cool, and damp to the touch, or if soil clings to it like a freshly baked brownie, step back, walk away, put the watering can down. Let the lung breathe. Step 3 requires us to look at the very foundation of our pots. To guarantee that your pots can exhale properly, you must revolutionize your soil mix. Most commercial potting soils you buy in bright plastic bags at the big box store are nothing more than pulverized peat moss. In a month, peat moss compresses and turns into a suffocating hydrophobic brick. You have to actively hack your mix. For every 3 parts of standard potting foil, ruthlessly fold in 1 full part of coarse perlite or volcanic pumice and 1 full part of rich, dark, earthy-smelling compost. When you blend this together with your hands, it should feel crumbly and loose, like chocolate cake. This creates a highly porous, airy matrix. It gives gravity a fast lane to pull the excess water out of the drainage holes and leaves behind thousands of microscopic air pockets for the roots to breathe deep. Now, what about the pragmatists? What about the lazy gardeners among us who want massive, jungle-like yields with absolutely zero daily effort? If you want to completely automate this biological process, you need to build a wicking system. Take a deep, watertight reservoir, like a 5-gallon bucket. Place it directly beneath your growing container. Run a thick, braided nylon cord or an old cotton shoelace up through the drainage hole of your pot, embedding it deep into the root zone of your soil, with the other end dangling down into the water reservoir. Nature will completely take over the workload. The dry soil will literally sip exactly what it needs, milliliter by microscopic milliliter, drawing water up through the cord driven entirely by capillary action. There is no guessing, there are no schedules, there is absolutely no drowning. The plant decides exactly when it is thirsty, pulling moisture only when the soil lung has properly exhaled. You just refill the bottom bucket once a month and watch the jungle explode. And finally, to lock this entire ecosystem in place, you must never, ever leave your soil naked. Naked potting soil is an open wound exposed to the radiation of the sun. The sun will bake the surface into a crust, destroying the delicate microbial life in the top layer. You must armor the soil. Add a thick 2-inch layer of shredded fall leaves, dry straw, or finely chipped wood to the surface of every single pot. This simple, free act of mulching instantly cuts surface evaporation by 50%. It perfectly mimics the protective layer of a natural forest floor. And as that mulch slowly breaks down, it constantly feeds the microbial workforce toiling below. When you finally step back, put down the watering can and let the absolute physics of the soil do the heavy lifting, a profound, beautiful silence falls over the garden. The frantic daily anxiety of, did I water enough today? Did I water too much? Why are the leaves turning yellow? Completely evaporates into the summer air. You stop being an anxious, hovering micromanager. You transform into an orchestrator of nature. You will start noticing the incredibly subtle, beautiful language of your plants. You will recognize the very slight loss of turgidity in a pepper leaf the day before it truly wilts. You will marvel at the robust, incredibly deep green hue of a tomato vine that has actually been forced to fight for its moisture, building a massive, resilient, drought-proof root system in the process. By stepping back, by intentionally allowing the soil to dry and the subterranean lungs to breathe, you aren't just saving yourself precious time and drastically reducing your municipal water bill, you are tapping into a deeply intuitive, ancient way of engaging with life. You are acknowledging that nature, when given the proper structure, is infinitely better at managing itself than we could ever be. It is the ultimate liberation for both the plant in the pot and the gardener tending it. Imagine walking out to your balcony or patio tomorrow morning. The air is cool, you have your coffee in hand, you are completely at peace, knowing your containers are thriving, not because of your constant, overbearing intervention, but because of your intelligent, deliberate restraint. You have built a self-regulating world. If you are finally ready to stop drowning your beloved plants, if you are ready to break free from the tyranny of the daily watering schedule and start cultivating explosive, hands-free growth, you need the right framework to build this ecosystem. Click the link below to get my complete zero-effort container ecosystem blueprint. It is a comprehensive step-by-step guide that will save you 20 hours of labor a month, eliminate fungus gnats and root rot forever, and turn your struggling windowsill into an unstoppable self-sustaining harvest. Stop watering your plants to death. Let's bring your garden back to life.